It's been a minute since I've done a testing new makeup video, so we are going to try a bunch of new makeup launches today. I have everything on right now. These are all high-end. I do plan on doing a drugstore version as well in the next week or so, but we have a lot to try, so let's get into it. So first thing I'm starting out with today is going to be the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Primer. This is a mattifying primer that starts out as this liquid but kind of dries down to almost a powder finish. It's amazing for oily skin and it's super lightweight. I always say if you didn't like the balm that she has, which is another one of my favorites, then you'd probably like this one a little bit more since it does dry down to basically nothing. It feels like nothing on this skin, but it definitely controls the oils throughout the day. And I wanted to use this because we are using this again. If you guys watched my Sephora haul, I did do like a quick first impressions of the new Lawless Forget the Filler. This is their line smoothing foundation that I have been testing out, and it is a little bit more dewy. So that's why we are doing it with the oil control primer. I really like the formula of this though. It is so lightweight on the skin and it blends out to perfection. It doesn't look super dewy at first, but it's just that my oils do come through over time while wearing this foundation. So I want to get as much oil control as possible to see how these two work together. But truly, it is a stunning foundation on the skin. Very nice, I would say medium coverage, just perfects everything. The shade I use in this one is 2F. I'm just adding a little bit more coverage on my lower like chin area because I do have a little bit more blemishes to cover up here. But look how flawless that looks on the skin. I am really loving the finish of this. I just want to see if we can control some of the oil that comes throughout the day. Urban Decay sent me a bunch of their new liquid shadows, so I did want to use this on the eyes today. If you guys watched my new at Ulta video, I kind of shared these in store. There's so many fun shades and I want to do something a little more colorful. So it does say to use these with a primer. They kind of look like little calligraphy pens and they have a little brush that you apply it with, but this looks like such a fun, it's like a periwinkle icy almost blue shift, and these are supposed to be even more intense than like their moon dust shadows, and they are a liquid formula. But wow, the shine on this is insane. So with these it says to go ahead and shake it up, and you're gonna do 2 coats. 1 coat first, let it dry, and then move on to your next one. And yeah, you just apply it with this brush all across the eye. And this is all I'm going to use today. So your first layer is going to be a little more sheer. Okay, I changed my mind. I do want to use it with another eyeshadow. I think that will make it stand out even more. And I just wanted something a little more dramatic today. But yeah, it looked totally pretty on its own for something more subtle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going in with this Nomad Après-Ski palette. And I'm going to take this Last Call like dusty blue and put this in my crease with a just really big fluffy blending brush. This is the BK212. We'll do a little bit of La Terrasse mixed with Valet Blanche, which is this like purple, and blending that in the outer corner very lightly. So it's a very subtle kind of wash of a little something. And then blending those same 2 colors on my lower lash line too. And now going in again with the Urban Decay Frost Boss. This shade is called, I don't even remember if I mentioned that earlier. And we'll use that as our shimmer. But I feel like this way, this color is going to stand out even more. I do really like the applicator on these though. I feel like it is really easy to spread out the product. And it's nice we don't have to dip our fingers in or use a separate brush. Now that looks so pretty. We'll have to see how this holds up, if it creases at all throughout the day. Now for our concealer, I've been wanting to try this new one from Tarte. It is their Shape Tape Blur Concealer Stick. I've been so curious about this one. It does say it's supposed to be like waterproof, like 24-hour wear, so I think you can use it under the eyes and on blemishes. So we'll see how this goes. This is what it looks like here in the packaging. I'm mostly probably going to use this for blemishes. I really don't have high hopes I'm going to like this for the under eyes, but we will try it out to see what happens. So I'm going to swipe this underneath. It's super duper creamy. And then we'll cover some extra spots I have. Blending out with the BK A506 here. It does dry pretty quickly, so definitely one you want to work fast with. It looks good though, so far. Definitely one we'll have to set. But I think I'll really like this, especially for the blemishes, since it has pretty good coverage. And it's easy just to throw in your bag and do a quick little touch up with. And I am going to set my under eyes with my regular Huda Beauty powder just to see how these two work together, since it's my tried and true. So we're just pressing that into the under eye here with this is a beauty blender sponge, but you can use any type of sponge you have or brush if you prefer. I just like these because it really packs it in. And I will go ahead and set the rest of my face too, because I believe we are using powders for the rest of our makeup. So I like to do this before doing my powder, bronzer, or blush, just so it blends pretty nicely and doesn't skip or tug if it's starting to cling to like the foundation or anything. And I do like set at the very end as well. And then we're just going to apply some mascara. This is the Rare Beauty one, which this one is not new to me, but I just don't have any high-end ones I want to use today. And I do have a fun testing new drugstore makeup that'll be coming up probably in the next week, which I'll have a fun new mascara to test out in that video. I feel like adding the mascara just really completed the eye look, and it looks so good. For bronzer, I have this new one from Polite Society. I've been dying to try this. I love everything about this, the packaging, the marketing. It's swatched really nicely, and just the overall texture, it looks so good. This is their Cabana Club Blurring Bronzer. It's supposed to be like a whipped buttery feel that combines powder and liquid for a texture that's supposed to just melt into the skin. They have their cream to powder blushes that are very similar in formula that I love, so I feel like I'm gonna like this as well. So I got the shade French Riviera. I think this is the lightest one. And I have found a favorite new cream and just regular powder bronzer brush. This is the Makeup by Mario F4. You've probably heard some hype about this, and it is worth the hype. It's double-sided, so you could do like a little contouring on this side and bigger space with this one. It has a slight curved feel, but it is so great for any type of bronzer. So I'm just gonna dip my brush in there. And once I have that saturated, I like to put a little bit on my hand just so we're evenly coating each bristle, and then it applies a lot nicer onto the skin. So then this shape is already like made for cheekbones, so you just kind of lightly tap that and it creates like the most flawless application. Plus this formula seems really nice as well. It seems like it's going to be more buildable because it is pretty light, which that's good for me because I really don't want to go overboard, which I can do sometimes with bronzer since I do have more fair skin. So same thing on the other side here, but yeah, this texture is so interesting. It definitely feels almost putty-like, and then just kind of sets down to a powder finish. So if you're looking for a cream bronzer for very oily skin, this would probably be a good option. I do feel like the tone of this is a little more on the warm side. I think it could use more of a neutral, cooler undertone, but I'm not too mad at it. So overall, I think that applied really nicely. I'm really excited about this. I feel like it's a fun, new, innovative type of formula. Next up, I have been so excited to try these new blushes from Saie. These are their Radiant Blush Powders. Oh my gosh, they're like a baked formula. Let's see what color I want to do. I love a baked blush that adds a little bit of glow, because I don't like to wear highlighter. This looks like it's gonna be a little too warm for me. This is called Chow. Ooh, I think we're gonna do this one. This one is Mia. How pretty. I do have a cool pink though as well, which would be fun with our purple going on. Look how fun and bright this is. This is Bella, but I do think I wanna use the more neutral shade and have our eyes be the star of the show. So for this, I'm gonna grab the BK Beauty N15. tap off the excess. I did pat a little bit on my hand as well, and then we'll go ahead and apply it to the cheeks. Ooh, yeah, these are nice. These are nice and pigmented. Glad I tapped some of that off, otherwise it might have been a little much. But yeah, these are beautiful. I honestly thought they would be a little more subtle. I feel like Saie does a lot of more subtle products, but this is really pretty, and it does offer that a little bit of glow, but it just, it blends so effortlessly, and it just looks airbrushed on the skin since it does have that baked formula. Very pretty. I like to do a little bit on my nose just to kind of match everything. And then I do take my powder brush again and just kind of melt everything together on the face. I did get a couple of these MAC new lip glosses. This is the Lip Glass Air that I wanted to try. I don't really love the shades I got, but let's see how we like this one because it has a little bit of like an iridescence to it, but we definitely have to put some lip liner on first. I think this will be perfect to pair with the Rhode lip shape. This is basically like a lip pencil to me, but it applies really nice. It just doesn't last the longest, so having this as a base I think will be perfect with our lip gloss on top to add some more longevity. And this is the shade Press. And then we'll take the Lip Glass Air on top. These are supposed to be super lightweight, non-sticky. I know the old MAC lip glosses kind of did have a tackiness to them. And this one has a nice iridescence. Smells so good. I love that classic MAC vanilla. It looks pretty too. So yeah, this really is super lightweight. It does give a light iridescence, but it's not too much. It's not giving you like a full-on chrome effect. You can just see the sparkles that give it more of that glassy shine. So yeah, it's really lightweight. It's really like slippy, no stickiness whatsoever. It has just like a really thin formula, but usually I like a little more thicker glosses. I do like sometimes a stickier gloss because it makes the lips look more full, but I think the sparkles in this also give that illusion. Lastly, I did get the new Huda Beauty setting spray from the Easy Bake line. This is described as a blurring setting spray with 16-hour wear, supposed to be long lasting, non-comedogenic, and lock makeup in without being drying. So with this one, you twist it and then spray. Ooh, okay. I feel like, is there like powder in here? I don't know. I feel like I could see some type of substance. It's really, really fine. I feel like I heard people not liking the applicator, but I'm not having an issue so far. It is a really nice fine mist. I don't know if it gets clogged or what, but I don't know. I feel like I saw some reviews that were mediocre for the packaging. Maybe that's something that shows up with the sprayer over time, but so far it seems good to me. Now let me go ahead and fix my hair and I'll be back to show you guys the finished look. Here is the final look. Makeup is looking very beautiful, but of course we need to do a wear test today because that is the most important thing to see how this stuff is going to hold up throughout the day. I want to wear this at least 6-7 hours and I'll come back and update you and you can see how everything is holding up. I am back. It has been 9 hours, which is crazy. I usually don't do this long for wear tests, but I would say our makeup is actually looking so good right now. I do have a little bit of shine and I haven't really touched up at all, so let's just do a little blot. But otherwise, like, this looks really good and probably the best this Lawless foundation has lasted, and I honestly think it's mostly due to this Huda setting spray and also the Denona Myricks primer too, but I definitely think this Huda has something to do with it. So I think that's going to be kind of my combo to wear with this Lawless foundation since it does get a little greasy on me over time, but I just really like this formula. Now if we get really close, we can see this Urban Decay little liquid shadow is creasing a little on my eyes. It's not super noticeable, but it's definitely creasing because I did apply it above that crease area. So even with primer, it doesn't last the longest. Maybe I put too much product on, I don't know. I did feel like it had this almost tight feeling, like I could definitely feel the product on my eyes when I first applied it, but then that went away and it just kind of felt like nothing was there. I do think it doesn't mix the best with other powder eyeshadows on the eyes, so it's mostly something you would probably wear on its own. The color overall is gorgeous though, but I mean, it's not a perfect 10 out of 10, but it worked pretty decent for a liquid shadow, just still some creasing. I'm sitting down to edit this and I'm realizing now I never gave my updates on the concealer, but the concealer actually did hold up pretty well. You can kind of see on my clips throughout the day that it actually did not look bad at the end of the day, and I really thought it was just going to be a blemish concealer, but it actually works pretty well under the eyes. Of course, I need a couple more testing times with it, but so far it seems like it's going to be really good and a nice one I can just throw in my bag for touch-ups from Tarte. The Polite Society Cabana Club bronzer, also a win for me. Love this formula. Wish they had a little bit more cooler or neutral tone shade in the lime, but this is such a unique, soft, blurring, like cream to powder formula that I really like. And if you guys like their cream to powder blushes, I think you will love this bronzer. It is so good. But yeah, I just wish it had a cooler shade. And I also really enjoyed this Saie blush. I think this is beautiful. It still looks really pretty on the cheeks. It just gives that nice kind of filtered effect from the glow that you get with this baked blush. It just applies very evenly. It's not patchy and it lasts throughout the day. This is an excellent blush and I think it would definitely make it in my top list for blushes, especially this year. And lastly, this MAC gloss. I'm actually pretty impressed by this. This actually lasts a decent amount of time. Like, this will still be on my lips a few hours later, which is very unheard of with a gloss. Usually those fade pretty quickly, and for such a thin gloss, I really did not expect this to be longer lasting like that. It's really lightweight too, so if you're looking for something that feels light, it's non-sticky, it's not thick, you will really like this formula and it wears really well. So we actually had some pretty good products in this try on today, some real winners, and a couple things I'm just kind of like a little iffy on, is going to need some more time with, especially this Urban Decay eyeshadow. I want to try a couple of the neutral shades maybe by themselves and see how that goes. But everything else has really worked out great today. I'm really impressed by these products. Wanted to do this first impressions, but as always, I will have some updates later down the road as I've tried these products more. But let me know what you think. What are you excited about? I know Sephora sale's over, so not a lot of people are shopping makeup right now, but Ulta's been having some really good deals too. I know that MAC you can get at Ulta and that Polite Society as well. But I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know some more new makeup products you'd like to see a wear test on, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.